Hey, I hope you're doing well. This is my last live loop, The Dreamer, turned into a full song. So, my live loop is a sketch pad, so to speak, just an idea. And then the next day, I turn that idea into a full song. I don't give myself much time, just 2 days. One day live loop, one day full production song for me to turn that idea possibly into something for a client later on if they're looking for something specific, or for an album. So I'm just compiling all these songs and see where they go later on. We're going to listen to it all the way through and then I'll break it down afterwards. Here we go.
Down by the river where the tall grass sways lives a little dreamer dancing with the fireflies at night. Far beyond the lights and the crowded roads lives a little drifter where the cold wind blows. She talks to me with silence. Hey, dreamer, your falling spark, the soft steps the earth where the dream roots are. Hey, dreamer, slipping words with the slow, echoes through the blue and the wind falls low. Hey, dreamer, follows you. Oh, out with the shadows and the dark trees sway. She moves like a whisper at the end of the day, drifting through the air in silence. Spark, the soft steps the earth where the dream roots are. Hey, dreamer, slipping words with the slow, echoes through the blue and the wind falls low. Hey, dreamer, follows you.
Okay, so that was the whole song all the way through. Let's break it down and see what I did for every instrument and take a look at all the plugins and some of the mixing I did. So let's start with the drums. I'm just stomping on the hi-hat and the kick. Really simple. Yeah, and then I have a compressor from FabFilter, and I have a Neve 1073. This is an EQ that helps beef things up a little bit. It sounds really, really good, and I use it on a lot of things, not only drums, but also guitar. And here are the drums for the chorus. This is all just me playing. I'm not quantizing them, just leaving them natural. I find quantizing in Logic Pro, you get a lot of little artifacts that I really don't like the sound of. Then all I do for the drums there, I copy and pasted for the second chorus. They're exactly the same. And then same thing with the drums in the beginning, copied and paste them for the second verse. So this is the Udio synthesizer for the chorus. I just have that going to a Lexicon reverb with my OB6 synthesizer. A lot of resonance in that sound so that it pushes through the mix. So let's hear it in the track. All right, and then I had the same exact thing later on. And let's take a listen to the acoustic guitars. So here I have a little compression, another Neve 1073, because it's just so beautiful. And then I took out kind of sub 100, because I don't need any of that anyway. So let's take a listen to the guitars in the chorus. Again, same thing, compression, some EQ, and took away, sub 100, 110 or so. And for that, my SJ200 has a lot of bass in it. So I don't want that bass to get in the way of the actual bass that's in the track. So you have a much cleaner transition. So the guitar is taking that high-end mid-range spot, and the bass is taking its own spot. And it works a lot better when mixing. Let's take a listen to the vocals. So vocals in the verse sound like this.
Down by the river where the tall grass sways, lives a little dreamer dancing with the fireflies at night.
So for the vocals, I have an auto-tune and some EQ. Took away about sub 200 there, and then a compressor. And then I have EP 134 delay. These harmonies. The vocals in the chorus.
Hey, dreamer, your falling spark, soft steps the earth where the dream roots are. Hey, dreamer, sleeping where turns slow, echoes through the blue when the wind falls low.
So what I did here is I just doubled everything. So the main one.
Hey, dreamer.
And the next one.
Hey, dreamer.
And then I have that high part.
Hey, dreamer.
And the high part, I just panned left and right.
Hey, dreamer.
So you get a really big sound. So the vocals in the second verse are pretty similar. I'll just show you those real quick.
Out where the shadows and the dark trees sway, she moves like a whisper at the end of the day.
And then here's the bridge. It's a 4-part vocal harmony.
Under silver skies, where silver skies, where silver skies, where...
So what I did here is like a row your boat thing. So you say row your boat gently down the stream, and then row your boat starts right in the middle there. So I did kind of a similar thing here. Here's this under silver sky is just this.
Under silver skies where winds...
And on skies I start again.
Under
together. And then underneath, or above, I should say, because they're higher vocals, copied that in the end. And in the end, I had just guitar and those two vocals and some of the other instruments. And I'll show you what that sounds like. Moving on. So we have, in the beginning, we have a guitar solo. Again, same compression and EQ. We're getting into some of the live loops that I just left in the track. Because again, I like to leave something from every live loop. So here's the flute. Oh yeah, I had a little auto-tune on it. That's a cool trick. Auto-tune doesn't only work for vocals, it also works for single note instruments. I have my KO drum machine. Very simple. I did end up quantizing that. So I had these massage balls that I just banged together. They're just these massage balls, and they sound like this. You hear a little bit of that, the chime, the meditation bowls in the background, because they kind of rang over. So what I did was, instead of using that, I put it into drum machine designer. And so each individual hit here I made into a step sequencer. Literally, it took me 5 seconds to get this. That's what I really love about the drum machine designer in Logic. You can get some really awesome drum patterns with the randomization. So let's listen to that. So every time it plays a little bit different because the chants is all different. And here I have post-it notes that I just made a little rhythm out of. That sounds like this. Again, meditation bowls are ringing through. It's kind of cool. And then we have the actual meditation singing bowls. Again, we have the KO drum kit, we have the flute, the post-it notes, and the singing bowls that are all part of the live loop. I added some more stuff. I have the stopwatch that I used, which is this thing right here. So I recorded it. Sounds like this. Mic was really hot. And then here's the thumb piano. I'm sorry, the thumb harp. It's out of this big horn. It's cool. It has a unique sound, but I processed that through my pedal board. So it kind of has this warbly, cool sound. And then here's the thumb piano. I like the little artifacts. It adds a different layer that I think is really, really neat. Like when everything is perfect and on the beat and there's no other noise, I think it loses a vibe and it loses part of the organic nature of creating music. So don't be afraid if If you're writing songs, don't be afraid to make it a little bit messy, a little dirty, but make sure the performance is really good. But if you have like artifacts in the background, or if you have like a car zooming by, or somebody talking in the background, it might be actually pretty cool. Here's a bass. That's direct in, and I used a bass plugin. The bass for the chorus sounds like this. I tried using a synth bass, this Udio bass. But it didn't work. It sounded, for this type of track, just didn't like it as much. And I'll show you the difference. So first we're going to listen to the synth bass, this one, and I'll mute these other basses that I did. All right. Yeah. So here's the synth bass.
Hey dreamer, your fallen spark, the soft steps the earth where the dream roots are. Hey dreamer.
All right. So that's the synth bass. I'm going to mute that. Now we're going to listen to the real bass.
Hey dreamer, your fallen spark, the soft steps the earth where the dream roots are. Hey dreamer, slipping words with slow.
Yeah, for this kind of track, it just works a little bit better, I feel. But let me know what you think. Maybe you like the synth bass better. I have this violin from the live loop. And then I added some movement to it. So this is a movement plugin from a company called Output. So it sounds like this. And then on top of that, I put in this Echo Melt plugin. I love this plugin. It sounds so cool. It's like a chorus plugin on crack. Electric guitars. Two separate amp plugins and two separate guitars. That's the left one, and here's the right one. So yeah, when you use different guitars and different amps, and they sound quite a bit different from each other, you get much more of a stereo effect. One would argue even making it even more different. I think I should have maybe done a totally different guitar amp, because this was a Marshall amp and this was a Friedman amp. I could have used kind of like a really small amp. I could have actually used one of my analog amps to get a totally different sound. I may end up doing that later on. So I think that's about it. I used a lot of live loops in this one, more than usual. This was a live loop that was hard to turn into a production track because it wasn't really meant to be a pop track. It was, I don't know, something more experimental. So I messed around with some ideas and just came up with this. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any comments, please drop them below. Love to know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, like, really helps me out. And I'll see you on the next video next week where I'll have another live loop.